Like, imagine showing like shit like this to fucking a Gnosia fan and be like, man, the Gnosia epilogue isn't what I was expecting, huh? At least, you know, Yuri has confirmation that Setsu like literally doesn't exist in this universe rather than just a case of forgotten among the characters. Yeah, back off unless you want this Gnosia pussy. We basically just warned them that they might get the alien clap if they keep trying to be sex pests. That's amazing. But if we get another key, it's just gonna fucking bring her back and trap us. It feels like it's an endless cycle. I love how they're like exotic pole dancers or holograms. How technology has ruined things, huh? At the end of the day, Setsu was the OTP all along. Even though they had us really feel for like Jina and SQ and shit, at the end of the day, it all lines back up to Setsu, huh? I feel like we're just gonna end up getting stuck in an endless loop by stopping Setsu from being stuck in an endless loop, you know what I mean? A little deja vu. Feels like it's something that you should remember. If there's that little bit of familiar, that means there's a way that Setsu can be existing again. So overall, the Gnosia epilogue, this is the first of 3 episodes, as the epilogue does run from 19 to 21, has so far not gone where I was expecting. I really was like, okay, they're probably going to have an episode, half an episode, maybe a full episode, focus on Yuri. But I really was expecting it to focus on Setsu next week, but now I don't know. Because the implications towards the end is that despite Setsu no longer existing in this universe, that is a fact, it's not just an assumption. The base that Setsu came from, literally 100 years of history, Setsu's never existed. But Otome is the first character other than Yuri to be like, you know, I don't remember this person, but it's almost like a nostalgia, like I should remember. So therefore, the existence of Setsu, they still had influence on this world, it's just now they cease to exist. The issue stems from, if Yuri does this, if Yuri takes the key again, the same issue as before will happen. There will be 2 versions of Yuri again, and universes would end, right? Like, the whole time I thought the punchline was going to be that Yuri just has to wait, but the implication is that Setsu will never, because, like, the whole thing is, like, Setsu needs to give us the key in this it's like, I don't know, bro. My brain is trembling, and I don't know what the punchline will be. Is there going to be a happy ending? Apparently even game players don't know, because as far as I know, this is all new content for the anime. So we're all going in blind, from my understanding. Jesus, what an episode, though. Now, you know what to do, though. If you got this from the video, make sure you drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already. And Patreon can catch my full live reactions to all these episodes and more. Also helps fund the channel, so consider supporting if you do enjoy my work. Amazing episode, though. It was a slow episode, but that's not bad. Slow doesn't have to be bad, but it was objectively just waiting around. We had to park, we had to dock. Military's like, hey, we got to make sure there ain't no Gnosia aboard, and we use that as an opportunity to bond with characters, but also collect our bearings. And this guy in particular, very, very nice. You know, at first I was kind of pissed off. He's like, you're gonna have to pay me money if you want that. And he's like, no, I'm just fucking with you, bro. And I like the kind of parting words, too. He was kind of like, you know, you're clearly looking for someone, and I wish you the best. You know, sometimes the random acts of kindness that a stranger can give you, that they don't have to. It was nice enough that you went through 100 years of history looking for that name. Probably took a couple seconds, but still, that was enough. And just that fact of, like, you got this, bro. I think Yuri needed to hear that. And I mean, the whole episode was just seeing an assortment of characters, some of which have definitely had Yuri's back. I mean, Jina as an example. Though it is crazy to think that the get out of jail free card from being sexually harassed in this world is to say that you're in quarantine for Gnosia, because then creepy bastards don't want to get the Gnosia clap. Jesus. But it's interesting because, like, there was arcs where Jina fully fell in love with Yuri. And at the end of the day, I think this episode proves that the OTP for Yuri is that of Setsu. Even though there has been some emotional heartstrings, I mean, SQ, Jina, I mean, there's a lot of characters who have grown to love Yuri in different arcs, but at the end of the day, Yuri's deepest connection is that of Setsu. And it's easy to overlook sometimes with the emotional kind of heart pulls they do. But by bringing in another key, I just don't know what the punchline is. Because it feels like we're building up to Yuri essentially sacrificing themselves so that Setsu can be saved. It feels like one of them has to sacrifice them. It's just going to be a constant tug of war where they just endlessly like pull each other back, and it's like, no, you get to die for eternity and live happily ever after. No, you. And it's just this back and forth. Is there a happy ending possibility? I don't know. It really feels like Setsu accepted their fate, wanted Yuri to have the happily ever after. Probably didn't consider the fact that it would affect Yuri as much as it is. I don't know. Is there a universe out there where we could just live happily ever after with Setsu and Yuri, where they don't exist in other universes and they do that? Sure, everyone would forget them in this universe, but that would be the happiest ending I could think of. But, you know, like I said at the start, this isn't what I was expecting from the epilogue. I really thought it was going to be just from Setsu's point of view. And at the end of episode 18, I talked about this. And there's a bunch of people talking about what could or couldn't happen. Oh my god, there's no way we're getting an epilogue, or if it is, it's going to be one episode max, there's not enough to tell. Episode 19 proves why 3 episodes of epilogue is perfect, because I think, yes, in a lot of shows, this would have been a very rushed, here's the final chapter, but this actually does feel like unlocking a secret ending of a video game, which, you know, just surprisingly gave you an extra 3 hours of content to play. Could have been a quick cutscene to just add a little cherry on top, and the game devs said, no, we're going to make sure you really get your money's worth. That's what it feels like watching this anime, and watching the slow burn of figuring out what we should do as characters, and seeing, like, Otome is my least favorite out of every character in this show. Not that I hate Otome, it just creeps me out. I gotta be honest, I'm probably racist towards the dolphin, so be it. But, you know, because of the epilogue being the way it is, we got this really sweet moment that really made me have a... Because for all I know, this could be the last time we really focus on Otome, and that's a great final send-off for her, you know what I mean? It's interesting. I think my favorite simple part of the episode was actually this. So when you see someone running away, run, bro. It's like, oh shit, the government's gonna arrest us. No, it's run because you don't want to be stuck with this man's bar tab. And Sha-Ming's an interesting beast, because when these 3 women start laughing at Yuri for crying, they're like, hey, he's such a crybaby. Bro basically pimp slapped them and says, shut up. Like, that's the energy of, like, that's my homie. If I'm... Because, you know, for him, he's that guy that... He doesn't really think things through, but if he notices you're genuinely upset, he's kind of like, oh, shit. Well, bro, are you sure there isn't anything you can do? Like, it was a very simple moment, but despite the playboy energy at face value, it actually did a lot to humanize him and make us remind us that, like, hey, there's a heart underneath that pervertedness, you know? This show has been a masterpiece, a 10 out of 10, since damn near episode 1. And so far, I see nothing to indicate that the last 2 episodes are going to change that tune. I said when we finished episode 18, if that's all we got, I still thought that. It was more of an abrupt ending than I was expecting, but it still would have worked. Knowing that we do have that epilogue and it's essentially an extra hour of content, it's going to make it perfect. I don't see how anything could ruin what I've enjoyed up to this point. Whether or not Yuri gets a bad ending, Setsu bad ending, they both get bad endings, whatever you could think of that you think would probably ruin it, I don't think it would for me at this point. You let me know what you thought down below. I mean, from my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is new for even game players at this point, which is kind of cool, but if not, maybe just some game players didn't unlock the secret ending and that's why they think it's new. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts, so down below, drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course Patreon for live reactions you live over there, and other exclusives like, hey, I love to give those video shoutouts to my patrons because without them, you wouldn't get these YouTube videos at all. So today we got Paul Tar, Zen Virus, Claire A, Edvar, Golden Angel 1517, and Alstrin. So I appreciate the support. Please take care and y'all have a good one.